Nice.
Cool. All right. Oh, of course, I just hit the live button. And we're live. Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. My alarm just went off to make sure I was ready for this live because I kept hitting like the snooze button on accident today. So welcome back. Why don't we start with introductions today? I keep trying to switch it up a little bit, but let's see. Can we start with Cindy? Cindy, you want to say hello?
All right. My name is Cindy. I have Cindy B on Outschool. I don't know why I did that, but because I don't want them to know who I am, but then I send them to my YouTube videos. But so on Outschool, I teach knitting, finger knitting, and I have some cooking classes and some baby animal classes for the little kids. So trying a bunch of different ones.
Cute. Super cute. And Rebekah?
My name is Rebekah F. I teach science experiments for ages 3 to 8 and then math games for ages 4 to 6, like that kindergarten niche. And they're a lot of fun. And then sometimes I'll do seasonal classes where we just craft and chat about different topics, like what we're thankful for or how we show love to each other. Just find some ways to kind of socialize.
I thought of you the other day. I found some like game boards somebody was selling, and she's like, yeah, you can use them for your online classroom and make them magnets, and it was super cute. I was like, I gotta tell Rebekah. So I'm telling you, if you want to find out more, remind me, Rebekah, so I can show you where I found them.
Sounds good. The recording paused for some reason?
The only recording that's paused is Zoom. I usually, if I remember to pause them, I do, just because it just saves space on my computer since they're live on YouTube. And I like the way they come out on YouTube better, because on Zoom, only the speaker shows up.
Yes.
So after the live, if I go back and try to edit that video, so I like to pause it if I remember, but I don't always remember. But we should be live on YouTube. So
good, because the other time my baby paused it for me and I didn't want to mess up your live. Like, oh no, how long has it been paused? She started hitting buttons while we were on YouTube.
No, I don't even use that very often, unless I'm like making a video for something. Then I'll keep the recording on. But so hello, Kelly. We're just doing introductions. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Did you have a class this morning?
I did. Yes, I just came from it, so I'm a few minutes late. Oh.
How'd it go?
Good. It's a Welly Wishers book class, which, if you don't know, that's the baby dolls of American Girl. So yeah,
I didn't know.
Oh wow! No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, my kids are bigger now. No more dolls here. And action figures. Great. So you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Cindy's making me laugh with Bernie on her shoulder. Yep. She's stealing it. All right.
Why not, right?
She's gonna have Bernie on her shoulder the whole class.
I won't leave him there the whole time.
All right.
What do you think he's thinking, Kelly?
Yeah, he's thinking about the town hall meeting for Outschool.
Yes.
Hey, I want in on this stuff. I can make some money.
So I'm teacher Kelly Tagg. I have a YouTube channel. On every Tuesday, I read the weekly report from Go-Go Kid and VIP Kid, and sometimes talk a little bit about Outschool too. I've been with Outschool since June. I taught my first class. I do mostly book clubs with a few other things here and there, but mostly book clubs. And yeah, that's me.
So do you like to read anyway? Like, are you a bookworm?
Yes, when I have time. Sometimes I don't have time to read as much as I'd like to, but yes, I do when I can.
That's great. I wish I liked to read when I was younger. The only thing my parents could get me to read was like Sports Illustrated magazines and like any small snippets about sports I would read. So, excellent. All right, guys. Well, we're here to talk about the recap of the town meeting, and I thought they shared a lot of great information. Would anyone like to start one of the topics first? Let me just call something out. Yeah. What did you find most interesting?
I thought it was interesting how they were saying we're still growing, and that January is a big start time, you know, which I didn't realize. Yes.
Yeah.
It makes
wasn't
sense.
it like
People starting a new semester, they're going to start
Right.
fresh, brand new classes. I do feel like after Christmas, I wanted a fresh start as well. It's like, okay, here we go, start over. So it's kind of like a September all over again, you know?
right? So she said something like, was it 20x or something, like some huge number this year with people coming to Outschool during
yeah.
January. So yeah, it's a
Which
big
is
time for growth.
Yeah, in the past years, they have seen a growth in January, but this year, an extra growth probably because of COVID. And
Right.
some schools are on lockdown again. So homeschool families are trying to figure out, okay, what can we do? And yeah,
Right.
it's totally
And
different this year than in the past years.
Mhm. And if you're an Outschool teacher, they did say that right now they are seeing a big spike in European students. So if you are available during that time zone, you might want to try to open up some slots for.
What times are they?
Earlier.
They are 7 hours ahead of us.
Depending on, yeah. So yeah, the earlier classes, which is good to know because I found later afternoon classes book better. So that made me say, okay, maybe I should try some morning classes.
Maybe it's their evening.
Yes, or afternoon.
Well, I say 7 hours because of Germany, but I know.
Oh,
because
plus
my
you're
friends
Central. Yeah.
Right. Oh yeah, that's true. I am in Central Time, and I know that the UK and Germany are an hour apart also. So just check out their time zones and see.
It's like China's like 12 or 13 hours. So the Europeans more like halfway in between.
Right, right. I just know because when I call my friends in Germany. So be prepared for last minute enrollments was something they were talking about too. Did anybody want to touch on that?
I mean, I've seen it myself. There's times where like literally someone signs up 5 minutes before the class and you already printed your roster and they're not even on it because they just signed up.
And I think I know why. I mean, unless they change the search engine, when you go to search for a class, the top ones are the ones starting now.
Oh, true.
So the ones that are starting in like minutes or even the next half an hour. Because like one day my daughter was going to take a class and I looked at the time wrong or canceled or whatever. It's like, okay, let's take a class now. And I looked and like, okay, here's all my classes now. And so we were going to be one of the last enrollers because it was like cool, top of the list. So that's probably why you get a lot of late enrollments because it's like right there.
And the teachers love it. Like I had one this morning. I had a knitting class with one student and I've been doing her for a couple weeks. And all of a sudden a new person signed up and she actually was a little older and she wanted to do more. So I told her about my class this afternoon. I said, you might want to come to my other class because I have more kids and we all knit. So hopefully it'll keep snowballing like that. If I could only do just plain knitting, I would just like,
knit all day.
Classes. I mean, not because I don't like the classes, because it's easier to teach the same thing over and over than it is to do a whole bunch of different preparations.
Yes.
That's kind of like I like ongoing classes because I prep once and I teach it 5 times that week and I prep once and teach it 5 times that week. So I do like that part, but also it's got enough variety that I can change it up every week and do something new. Whereas my one-time classes, I kept out the same class in summertime. And at some point, I'm like, I'm getting tired of teaching the same exact class 8 months later.
Yeah. Can I say something to that? So I kind of made a mistake, which I wish I kind of would have thought of. I opened a bunch of classes for January, which was awesome, but really I should have opened more sections for the classes I already had before creating new classes. Because now it's a lot of extra work. If I just said open more sections, it wouldn't have been any more work. Just teach the hour. You're already doing the prep.
Well, you can always change that later on. Like if you have all these one-timers months down the road, you can just close some of those out and fill up with ongoing. Now my schedule is so full with ongoing classes, I don't have room to squeeze a one-time class in there. So I have to really be picky.
Too bad for you.
Right?
But I do think it's easier
the downside is that it looks like I'm not offering that many classes right now because I'm having my 2 ongoing classes mostly and like my seasonal class. And like my one that's really good, sold out class. But all my other ones, they look like they're dead classes because there's no times available.
Yeah, so I will unlist Yeah.
Yeah, that they are available if parents do want to take a certain class.
Right. And some will request it. So for me, I have set days for one-time classes. It's only because that particular day of the week, I need it open sometimes, but with the one time you can schedule them whenever you don't have something else going on. So specific days of the week for one-time classes is how I do it.
I do set my availability open so people can start their own section, which is kind of nice. It's hands-free. It's a little bit easier for me because I have a very set schedule at home. I can choose what days and what times.
Have they done that?
It's like limited because most of my days and times are ongoing, but they have been able to schedule some sections and they fill up.
Have they done that? They do fill up?
Yeah, sometimes it's still one person. Sometimes they get a couple more people, but it's kind of nice having them just like, oh, well, I was thinking of opening one in February, but I hadn't gone around to doing yet. I guess we're doing one February 6th. Sounds good to me.
Good job. Yeah, that's great.
The other thing they said about last minute enrollments was that sometimes a class might cancel and that students like, what do I do now? So the parents go and just find something like Rebekah had mentioned too. Let's see. They also said consider one-time social or movement-based classes. Because with the kids going back into lockdown, some of the parents just want some movement for their kids and a safe space to do it. So that's an idea as well.
I don't know if it's too safe for me to move in here right now.
I can't do it here. I have to do it out there.
Cindy, last time you moved, you got hurt. You went to Danny's class.
Oh, yeah, I got hurt during Outschool. Right.
So I started my Zumba certification again so that I could do Zumba Kids again. So, so I've been certified for kids for years, and then I just stopped it when I moved back to the States. I don't know why, but now I have to recertify again. So I have to go through all the training again. I'm like, wow. So,
you have to be certified for something to do a movement class?
I don't think so, but
but you do have to say in there that, make sure you have a wide open space for the kids, be careful. You do have to do some kind of, well, what's the word that, safety stuff. Yeah, that's the word.
If you're not certified,
I am not responsible if you get hurt.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Cindy, if you're not, just say that in the description. I know Danny has done that. She's like, I'm not technically certified, and she gets booked anyway. So, hey.
For me, the advantage is I know all the Zumba songs. They're set up already for kids. They have no bad words in them because they're screened for this reason. So it really alleviates a lot of the worry on my end if I just get up there, dance, and they dance with me. You know what I mean? So it's a little embarrassing though.
And you know what they like, and you know it works.
Yeah, and the songs are already set. The choreography is there. I just have to practice. So that would be an easy thing to open. I just gotta get through the classes again. Let's see. They also talked about trying a camp or a multi-day class. Have you guys done any camps or multi-day class?
Well, I did I had a kitten camp. I did like a Monday and Tuesday. I just called it a kitten camp. It's like a 2-day. And I have an animal camp, but that hasn't booked yet. It's just all about animals. Like we're going to sing, play a game, maybe draw something, kind of like the kitten camp, only animal camp. And so I was thinking I would do that, and then I would use my math classes to offer after that, is kind of trying to put classes that build off of each other is what my idea was. But the kitten camp was adorable. It was hilarious. I only had one girl that came, and then my grandkids came, and I was like, do you have a kitten? And she's like, well, we had a cat, but my dad took it away. I mean, it was a story. And then the next day I said something about her cat, and she's like, I really don't want to talk about it.
Cindy.
But yeah, it was adorable.
I've tried some camps. I tried a camp this past summer where it was like a 3-day camp and like 3 science experiments, in a group, and I had like one person. So a few months later, I tried again and I had one person. I'm like, okay, this is whatever. So I said, on a whim, I would throw it out there the first week of Christmas break. And I got 4 people. And I had put too much content in there and felt really rushed. So I'm going to have to revamp that if I want to try again. My thing is, I don't know scheduling wise how to add a camp in with ongoing. Maybe I stop ongoing for the summer to put more camps in there. I don't know because I'm very limited. I can only teach like 2 in the morning, 2 classes in the afternoon. And sometimes I'm going to have to reduce that when she changes from 2 naps a day to 1 nap a day.
Right.
So I don't know. I like to do camps, but it's just trying to schedule it and commit to like 3 days a week for one person is like, do I have to go today?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's the scheduling. Also, I've tried to get some multi-day classes approved and I can't get them approved. So I know they want a lot of detail in the description, but also the scheduling, having like 3 or 5 days in a row where you have the same time free, that's hard for me too. And also I don't like how when the class starts, whoever's in the class, that's it. Whereas the ongoing, more people could join the next week and the next week. So like one of my new classes started out with 3, the second week it had 6. So that would have stayed 3 students if it had been multi-day. So that's just my issue, but they're great for people. Spring break's coming up if anyone wants to schedule.
Spring break.
Didn't somebody put that in your Facebook group, Kelly? And
Yes.
It's like every single week of March, somebody has a spring break somewhere.
March and April are good times.
So just
camps.
March and April, go for it.
A whole 2 months of camp.
Right. I mean, I might try again. I just want to make sure I can commit to the time and we get enough enrollers. Some people did camps every single week last summer and they made big bucks and that was their main income. They filled up on these camps and then they died down again. So like, I'd like to try that. I think it'd be a great thing to do. It's just not working in my schedule. But
what about Rebekah? What if you took your science classes and just said we're having science camp?
Well, I did, yeah. So back in the summer, I only had like 3 science experiments so far. So I combined those into a camp. Yeah. And so we did those 3 days, and I only had 1 kid.
Oh, okay.
Until wintertime, and then I had 4 kids for that one. So like I could try to bring it up. Now I've got like 10 experiments. I have to figure out how to, which one do I choose? So I'd like to try it again. And I know that multi-day and one-time classes are great for homeschoolers. I have heard that they have funds that they can use, but to use those funds, they have to have a start day and an end day, which is why one time is one time and done. Multi-day, it's 6 lessons and done or whatever. Ongoing, there's no end date. So they really can't enroll for ongoing classes. So maybe I should do like a multi-day course that's similar to my ongoing, but is more, definitive.
Well, I taught an after school STEM class. So if you need some ideas.
Yeah, that sounds good. My thought, and anybody who's a homeschooler person, comment below and tell me more. But like in my math class, I have 10 games, and then I cycle through again and do 10 more games, same 10 games over and over again. So if you start mid-time, you could do like the last half and come back around for the first half. If I only have 10 games, can they sign up for 10 weeks and tell their homeschool person does a 10-week course and pay for just 10 weeks of it? I mean, could they say that there's a start time and an end time and just say that's it? No matter when they say, or is because it's ongoing, if they choose to continue, then they have to use your own funds. I don't know how that would work, but
I've heard it has to be multi-day for them to use it for more than one person.
So what is this for? What?
For homeschoolers to use like funds that are set aside for homeschooler from the state. They can only do one time in multi-day.
Funds for that.
I think they are because of COVID. Because a lot more people are staying home.
Probably depends on the state. Maybe they're not in New Hampshire.
I actually applied for the Outschool.org. I figured, I'm not doing a ton of classes right now, but the classes that I do are paid for by them. And I figured I'm not making $1 million on Outschool. So I think I qualify. They didn't ask very many questions. So
no,
when I checked later, they said they're all out of funds.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah. So I mean, they might have more now, but when I was just curious to see what it looked like behind, even if it wasn't going to apply or not, and they said we're all out. So people need to.
I told my daughter to tell her friends about it.
Maybe us talking about it on our live that day.
Yeah,
just sell out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Cindy, are you allowed to do ongoing classes with those funds?
I think so, because I signed up for Evelyn's class, and it said every time I went, it said it was, I don't even know how it works because I signed up and I wasn't sure I got the money. They never sent me a thing and said, you got the money. They never told me how much money it is either. And they never said, you know, you have this much money, you have this much money left. I didn't really get a lot of information, but when I sign up for a class, it says it's paid for because I had the scholarship.
Nice.
But I haven't done that many classes, so it's not like, I mean, Kasey said it was like 300, so that's what I was assuming. It was like,
But that's what that guy Justin on my channel said. Yeah.
So I was assuming it would be about 300, so I figured that's about how much I had, but I haven't gotten any verification of anything.
I know in the last fall, I was doing my math games class and I decided to like end it the week before Christmas. So that's like the last day of my schedule. And when the mom said, is this really the last day? Because I need to tell my homeschool person or troop person or whatever person last day. I'm like, yeah, that's the last day. And then a few weeks later, like, nah, we're going to keep going. We're continuing. So maybe she dropped out that day, but she had to have a definitive, this is the last day of the class. So maybe they could do ongoing if they say, this is the last day for me. I don't know, but I know that she did talk to me. And then on a whim go, I'm just going to keep going because I don't want to lose all my kids.
Yeah, I keep telling my daughter, you know, to tell her friends about Outschool because I feel like like a lot of the teachers that are teaching public school, my daughter said, this is YouTube, but I won't tell you what state it is. But she said some of the teachers will record the lesson and put it on, and, you know, it's kind of like an automated thing. And for the kids, they're supposed to be there from like 8 to like 3 or something. And so
in the public schools?
Yeah, I'm not saying some of the teachers are probably awesome, but some teachers they're not familiar with the interactive forum like Outschool teachers.
Oh, okay, so it's not live. The kids aren't on YouTube.
No, the kids aren't on YouTube. We're on YouTube right now, so I don't want to incriminate anyone.
Right.
But I'm just saying.
So
She's just saying they're pre-recorded lessons.
Sometimes some teachers are kind of like not really putting as much into it as like we are, you know, because we know what to do.
Gotcha.
So we were talking about the camps, and they also talked about having a camp ready because they are planning the next open house to be kind of about camps. And to qualify to present, they want you to have it ready to go.
Yeah, they don't just say, let me get one set right now. Okay, go. No, they might have already established. So I might just tweak my camp that's already been approved, maybe change it around because I decided that it did not work with 4 people. With 1 person, it was so boring. Like they were done so fast. But with 4 people, I felt like we were rushing. So I might just tweak it and then roll it out again.
Great.
I think they were saying you could get one done. They were telling you so that you had time to go and get one approved if you needed to.
Don't do the day of, open house application. Do it now in January.
They said to get them prepared if you want to be a part of that. They said about 300 families. She wasn't quite sure on the numbers, how many showed up, but she said she thinks this is about 300 families to the first open house. So that was great. And that's not including like teachers or presenters or the Outschool staff. That was
it does not count the presenters or the Outschool staff, but I came as a teacher/parent, so I'm one of the 300.
Right.
Yeah. So about 300 people who weren't involved in like presenting.
Right. So so it was Outschool families, but also people that were just interested in the Outschool platform. So I thought that was really cool that they were able to get 300 families to join the first open house. And I don't even think it was advertised as much as it could have been to have those numbers. I thought that was great. They did send out a survey and they're asking for people to fill that out. Like, was it beneficial? How can they make it better? Things like that. So they're ready for the next one. They didn't really give a hint on when the next one would be, right? Or did I miss that? It's
March, I thought they said.
What's that?
I thought. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I think they said March. Rebekah, I can't remember.
I know is to gear up for summer camp, so it has to be before summer. But now I can't remember what month they said they wanted to have it in. But it's springtime.
Yeah, so keep a lookout for that. Cindy, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, I really haven't checked, like, do they have a place where they have like some kind of a brochure you can print out? Like maybe we could do more like telling people like in our regular neighborhood, you know? Because I know there's a lot of people, like I get a lot of students from California. You know, maybe I think there's a lot of people that still don't know about this program.
Right, which is kind of good for us, right?
Yeah, if we get
Still
the
plenty
word
to
out
go.
better, we
Yeah, I mean, I dropped the link if anybody says anything. Oh, does anyone know of an online dance class if I see it? Or does anyone know of tutoring? I'll drop the link so to try to get the word out.
I know there was a teacher that like with the Halloween candy, they put in like a little
Oh, that's a good idea.
card for Outschool for their classes and stuff too. So, I mean, you definitely could go on Canva and make one for yourself.
Yeah.
You can put your little QR code so that when they scan it, it goes directly to your referral link, and so they can get their $20 credit.
But yeah, I have no idea if they already have something prepared. That's a good thing to look into. Yeah, there was something about the credits in my notes here.
Yeah, I do like that now. When I signed up in May, how we had to do it is that I signed up my daughter to take this class, and I had to put in my credit card information, and I paid for the class. Then I emailed Outschool, and then they refunded me. Well, now I'm like, this is so old school.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'll do it this way. I want my money back. But now when you sign up for a class and you hit the pay button, it'll say, you know, it's a $20 class. It says minus $20. You pay zero.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to like do that. You had up to $20 for your first class. So if you take a $10 class, you'd use the $10 and it's done. Like it's gone. So it's a one-time use up to $20. It'll take it right off the bat on the payment screen. And then you just pay whatever's left, if there's anything left.
I kind of wish they'd have like trade in your 20 credits for dollars for those of us that don't have kids. You know?
Or you can maybe
gift
gift enrollments.
Certificate or something.
Yeah, I don't know if they can do that, but it'd be nice if you could use it as a gift certificate, because I know a lot of teacher friends don't have kids.
Last time we checked, we couldn't gift them.
Yeah,
so
maybe someday. I do know that the credits that you get expire in 30 days.
Oh,
so
that
as soon
I didn't
as
know.
the parent clicks on that referral link, they have 30 days to take their class or it's gone, which is why I was in a rush, like, we got to take one this week because I slacked, I procrastinated. So, and also I think if somebody redeems it from your link, you also get a $20 credit. So like my daughter would get a $20 credit that she has to use within 30 days as well. So it's kind of like a win-win. So I've been pushing it going, hey, if you guys sign up and take a class, my daughter gets a class for free too. So please help me out.
Right?
Yeah.
That's great.
Now, Rebekah, have you had people do that, like friends in real life?
I've had people sign up with
okay.
like their names on both teacher and as a parent, but no one has redeemed their $20 yet. So I haven't been able to redeem a $20. I'm like, come on, guys, and now it's too late for them. But it's like, just take a free class.
They had to do a fix for ongoing payments. If you are having trouble getting paid or you haven't gotten paid for an ongoing, they said send in a ticket. I got mine.
You only get paid on Sundays.
Right.
If you haven't got paid by Tuesday, then send an email. So give them a couple of days grace. They're figuring out how to tweak the system, getting all automated, but right now it's going through this kinky period. So just hang on for the ride. It's going to get smoothed out. It'll work out. But right now it's kind of,
these are all my notes, guys. Sorry. In our chat, we were talking about the teacher identity verification, and a lot of us had gotten it, and some said they hadn't gotten the email yet. Well, during the town hall recap, they said not everybody has received the email. And why some of us have dates is because they want you to do it within the 7 days. So, like, okay, I received mine, say the 20th. It wasn't the 20th, but then I have 7 days to finish it. So say the 27th. They're sending them out in chunks to different teachers. So they're asking, just go on there and get it done. It was fairly simple. All I had to do was take a selfie and then take a picture of my ID, both sides, and they scanned it and send it in. It was fairly easy. They are going to have new teachers. It's going to be part of the application process. So
This will make sure that you are who you say you are.
I think that's
Is there a
it.
deadline for that?
What's that?
Is there a deadline to do that? Because I didn't really get an email, so.
That
Then
they're
you might get one.
Yeah, so
yeah,
you
they're
can-
rolling it out to only a set amount of teachers at a time. So if you didn't get an email, you weren't in the first wave.
But I think you can go to your profile and scroll down midway and click on the verify button now if you want to just get it over with and do it early. I don't think there's any problem if you want to do that. Or you can wait to the email.
I don't know. Cindy, you better do it soon. Remember how long your background?
Did they give another background check?
Not a whole background
Oh
check.
my
Just
word.
verifying that you're Cindy.
But you have to get the
Verifying
selfie
that you're
just right. You can't turn your head too much. You have to just keep doing it over and over until you get it just right.
Yeah, it's verifying that you are the picture on your ID. So
They can tell. They already know. Somebody already knows everything about me, I think.
I think during every town hall, they mentioned the pd.outschool.com. That is a great place to go for some professional development. They have some live class help on there, how to make descriptions. There's a rookies and a vets class or group. And they also started a book club. So I thought that was pretty interesting too.
Oh yeah, teacher books. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. We should like share some of our favorite teacher book resources. I have a couple of them that I really like. Not today. They mentioned like save those links to your browser so you can check every so often on like the newsletter. There's a link for that. Teach.outschool.com has some information. You can also link to the PD section there. So her tip of the day was to have it ready on your browser. So what is it? The professional development, class quality group. They also are doing monthly webinars too. I haven't been to any of those. Have you guys? No, I haven't noticed them unless they're just starting. Those are going to be at 12 Pacific time, 30-minute webinars.
I went to one webinar way at the beginning and I was like,
Uh-oh.
like I know way more than you do right now.
This teacher seemed very structured and very like straight to the point, ready to go. So I bet hers would be really a good one to go to. Did you guys hear about the new teacher demo room?
Oh yeah, to practice.
Yeah.
No, that sounds good though.
The new teacher demo room is hosted by the class quality team, David from there. And they're actually like scheduling 15-minute sections. And you can, this was in the second video you sent, Rebekah. So this is actually not from the town hall, but from the second video you sent this week. And you can actually ask questions. And if you're having trouble in Zoom, then I guess David will give guidance and feedback, or whoever's in the room as a guide.
Because when I started out, I was doing like these practice rooms on Zoom with my friend. We were trying to figure things out together. Like, how do we do this? And how do we share screen? And how do we do breakout rooms? And how do we spotlight? How do we pin? What do these things mean? So my first 2 classes, I was filming. So it'd be nice to have a place to go with kind of a Zoom expert and say, okay, how do you do these things? What does it look from the student side and the teacher side? Okay, got it.
Oh, so I do want to mention there's a survey on 4 areas that they'd like you to check out. So they're asking about flex classes, book clubs, holiday themed classes, and history and social studies. They're asking you to email them community@outschool.com. And in the subject line, write content policy. So they want you to email them so that you can get that survey. So anything you want to tell them about flex classes, book clubs, holiday themed classes for any time of the year, and history, social studies. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Because I know they're kind of cracking down on who gets to teach some of those, because we have some kind of hot topics out there with like different holidays. You don't want to, we've got different groups out there. You know, I can think of like Thanksgiving with Indigenous people. I can think of MLK Day with, people of color. Like you have to make sure you hit the right teacher and the right qualifications of this. Your holiday Christmas classes can't be too religious. So they just want to make sure that they cover their bases.
All right. Well, I think that is all I have. What about you guys? Anybody hasn't have anything else about the town hall or the other short video we watched? No? All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming. Thank you so much, Cindy and Rebekah and Kelly. Always nice to see you Saturday mornings, and we'll see everybody next time.
Bye.
Goodbye. Thanks.